You've been driving your automatic car wrong, and it's slowly killing your transmission. These 15 habits cost drivers thousands every year. And the worst part? You probably did one this week. So let's fix that, starting now. Stick around till the end, because the bonus tip I'll share can quietly add years to your car's life. Number 15. Running on empty. Your fuel pump lives inside the tank, and it relies on gasoline to stay cool. When you're constantly running on fumes, you're starving it of that cooling effect. Over time, that tiny electric motor overheats, wears out, and fails. And that's not all. Running low stirs up all the dirt and debris that settle at the bottom of your tank. That sludge gets pulled into the fuel filter, clogs it, and slowly chokes your performance. Keep your tank at least 1/4 full, always. It's one of the cheapest ways to protect your pump and keep your engine happy. Number 14. Coasting in neutral. Coasting might seem like an old-school fuel-saving trick, but on modern cars, it's a myth. Here's the truth. When you decelerate while still in gear, your engine cuts fuel flow automatically. Shift into neutral, and it has to keep idling, actually burning more gas. You also lose control. If traffic changes in an instant, you can't accelerate out of danger because your drivetrain's disconnected. And when you shift back into drive while moving, you're forcing your transmission to catch up mid-rotation. That's brutal wear. So forget neutral coasting. Your car's smarter than that. Number 13. Driving through deep water. Water and transmission fluid don't mix, ever. Your transmission breathes through a small vent. In deep water, that vent becomes a doorway for disaster. Once water gets in, it contaminates the fluid, turning it into a thick, milky sludge. That sludge kills lubrication, destroys clutch plates, and causes slipping you can't reverse by simply draining it. Avoid deep water unless you drive a 4x4 with sealed vents. Otherwise, one bad puddle could mean a transmission rebuild worth thousands. Number 12. Leaving the car in drive at stoplights. It's easy to just hold the brake and wait in drive, but here's the problem. Your torque converter never stops working. That constant friction creates heat, and heat is transmission death. On a hot day, just a few minutes in drive at a red light can spike fluid temperature by 50 degrees. Shift into neutral if you're waiting more than 30 seconds. It relieves pressure, reduces heat, and lets your transmission breathe a little easier. Number 11. Not warming up. Your transmission in cold weather. Cold mornings are brutal on hydraulic systems. Transmission fluid thickens in low temperatures, making shifts slower and rougher. If you slam it into drive immediately after a cold start, you're forcing that cold, sluggish fluid through delicate valves and seals. A recipe for wear. Let your engine idle for about a minute before driving. Then go easy for the first few miles. Warm fluid means smooth shifts and longer life. Number 10. Resting your hand on the gear selector. You might not realize it, but every ounce of pressure your hand adds transfers down into the selector mechanism, pressing against shift forks and bushings that weren't designed for constant load. Over time, this tiny habit leads to premature wear and sloppy shifting. When you're not changing gears, hands off. Keep them on the wheel where they belong. Number 9. Ignoring dashboard, warning, lights. Your dashboard isn't decoration, it's your car's early warning system. That transmission temperature light? Ignore it once and you could cook your fluid. Oil pressure light? That's not a suggestion. It's your engine screaming for help. Even the battery light ties into transmission health. Low voltage affects the solenoids that control shifting. Never brush off those lights. They're the only voice your car has before something expensive breaks. Number 8. Turning off the car before it's in park. This one sounds harmless, but it's a mechanical nightmare. When you shut the car off in drive or neutral, you disconnect the torque converter from the transmission before it finishes its cycle. That shock can wear the locking mechanism and internal clutch packs. Always make sure your gear selector is in park before shutting off the ignition. It's one of those simple habits that saves transmissions everywhere. Number 7. Hard acceleration from a stop flooring. The gas at every green light might feel thrilling, but it's costly fun. The shock forces stress engine mounts, transmission gears, and clutch packs. Sure, your car's built to handle bursts of power, but abuse it daily and you'll notice slipping, jerky shifts, or even torn mounts. Smooth acceleration gives you nearly the same speed in real-world driving without destroying your drivetrain. Number 6. Shifting into park before a full stop. This is one of the quickest ways to destroy your parking pawl, that small metal pin locking your car in place. If you throw it into park while still rolling, that pin grinds against a rotating gear. You'll hear a grinding clunk. That's the sound of money leaving your wallet. Always stop completely before selecting park. That tiny pause saves massive repair bills. Number 5. Neglecting transmission. Fluid changes. Lifetime fluid is the biggest lie automakers tell. Transmission fluid degrades, period. It burns, it oxidizes, it loses viscosity. By 50,000 miles, even synthetic fluid starts breaking down. That means friction, heat, and metal shavings floating through your gears. Check the color. Bright red and clear is healthy. Brown or burnt smelling. Change it immediately. Fresh fluid keeps everything gliding instead of grinding. Number 4. Parking without the handbrake. Relying solely on the park gear to hold your car is like using your teeth to carry a dumbbell. That tiny parking pawl isn't designed to bear the car's full weight, especially on hills. Always pull the handbrake first, then shift into park. It takes 2 seconds and saves your transmission from unnecessary strain. Number 3. Idling in drive for too long. Extended idling generates heat, especially in drive. Even with cooling fans, automatic transmissions depend on airflow and circulation. When parked in drive for too long, your torque converter's constantly shearing fluid. That slowly cooks it. Turn the engine off if you're waiting more than a couple of minutes. Restarting uses less fuel than idling endlessly. Number 2. Shifting between drive and reverse. While moving, never ever shift directions before coming to a complete stop. Doing this mid-roll shocks your gearbox, slamming rotating components in opposite directions. It's one of the fastest ways to snap internal parts or destroy your clutch packs. Modern cars have safeguards that delay the shift, but don't rely on them. Stop, then shift, every time. Number 1. Getting aggressive when stuck in snow or mud. Spinning your wheels doesn't get you unstuck. It gets you a new transmission. Revving the engine forces fluid through clutches at high pressure, overheating and burning them. Instead, use gentle rocking, forward and reverse at idle speed, or use sand, mats, or litter for traction. If you have 4x4 or low range, use it. Controlled torque is what gets you out safely, not rage on the pedal. Bonus: the sunlight trap that kills your car. Slowly, you think heat only hurts your paint, but it's murdering your transmission too. Parking in direct sunlight bakes everything under the hood. That trapped heat dries out seals, evaporates fluid additives, and breaks down the transmission fluid faster than normal driving ever could. Over time, it causes delayed shifts, slipping gears, and fluid leaks. Whenever you can, park in shade or use a reflective windshield cover. This small step can easily add years of life to your transmission, your interior, and even your paint. Automatic cars aren't fragile, but they're not indestructible either. Treat them right, and they'll outlast everything you own. Avoid these 15 mistakes, and your transmission won't just survive, it'll thrive. And if you thought this was helpful, don't miss our next deep dive. 17 common oil change mistakes that destroy engines. Because sometimes the simplest maintenance habit can cost you the most.